Russell Wilson is back to his old shenanigans. When will he ever learn? Welcome into your Denver Sports Daily for February 28th. Let's go.
Taking you through your morning headlines, it's Denver Sports Daily with Rachel V. Hill.
Russell Wilson is most definitely getting released by the Denver Broncos. The hype videos are back, which pretty much just sealed the deal when it came to him. As you can see him, you got the lightning, you got the shoes, you got all of the working out, giving all of the vibes, and Brandon Marshall is even in the video, so this had to be when they did their I Am Athlete podcast. But Team 3 has been waiting for this moment to bring back the hype videos, and let me tell you, fans were not pleased about this one. So many people responding back to it on social media. His PR team makes great videos, but they give him terrible advice. I hope he has success wherever he ends up. Steelers and Tomlin might be the best opportunity. I liked the guy. He had a great career in Seattle. I just think he's way past his prime. Another one saying, based on the way he plays, maybe he trains ... too much. More people chiming in. It was honestly so entertaining to read so many of these comments. Somebody said all this to just run into pressure for his next team. That's not Russ. The real Russ would see someone else in the room and immediately run out of the pocket. Seriously, there were so many different comments made on this, and Sean Payton made it very clear when he took over the Broncos that he wanted the players to stop posting on social media. We hardly saw anything last year, and well, it's back. So I think the timing of it was definitely very interesting as well, because we know the combine started yesterday. They got asked, Sean Payton and George Payton got asked about Russell Wilson. Boom, here comes this video. It's been interesting. Now you might be wondering, okay, who are the Broncos going to be sitting down with when it comes to the combine? And they are sitting down last night with JJ McCarthy, a name that has been linked to Sean Payton. And George Payton spoke on it a little bit yesterday, quoting, "He's a good player, just like 7 or 8 other quarterbacks. We're still working through the process, obviously. He's a winner. He's won a lot. He has talent. So I look forward to spending time with him, I think, tonight." And again, that was yesterday when they spoke to the media. So that might get you a little excited if you're a JJ McCarthy fan, but it also kind of shows that they're going to be looking at all of the quarterbacks there, not necessarily just narrowing it down to one guy right there. But now, don't get too excited, because free agency, it sounds like it's going to be a very, very slow process. Take a listen.
We're going to be very, Mike, like we said, we're going to be strategic. We're not going to be as aggressive as last year. You know, we have flexibility, but we're going to, just be more measured and try to fill specific, positions, specific needs, throughout the team. But feel like we'll have the flexibility to do that. But we're not going to be like, we can't do that every year and be aggressive like we were last year.
Now we've got boots on the ground down there. So who else has met so far with the Broncos? Cecil Lammey tweeting out a bunch of names. Alabama linebacker Chris Broswell, Clemson defensive lineman Tyler Davis, and Florida State defensive lineman Fabian Lovett for sure have had formal and informal meetings with the Broncos at the NFL Combine. So very interesting to see kind of what's going on there. But also a lot of names have been thrown into who the Broncos could trade if they were going to move up in the draft or anything of that nature. And among the top names is definitely star Patrick Surtain. He's been in a ton of mock trades, but in person, it probably doesn't make a lot of sense. And George Payton definitely likes PS2. So he had a very solid year last year, recording 12 passes defended, an interception, and 69 total tackles. And he finished his 3rd pro season by being named to his 2nd Pro Bowl. So since being drafted by George Payton at number 9 in the 2021 NFL draft, George Payton goes on to say, "We'll look into it. We have a lot going on before that." Payton said that on Tuesday yesterday, when it obviously was talking about a possible extension of the corner. And then they said, "We have free agency, the draft. Pat is going to be here, and obviously we value him." So that's obviously very important for this Denver Broncos team. It looks like to keep them. But what about how players are looking at the Denver Broncos? Media members, we've been very critical of what the Denver Broncos have done. What about the players? The NFLPA announced their grades for the Denver Broncos, and I always love seeing how the players kind of go about this. Ownership got the highest grade of an A, and then you look down and you see some of the other things. Treatment of the families, D-. Plus food and cafeteria, a B. Nutritionist, a dietitian, a B-. Locker room, they got a D. Training room, a B-. The weight room, B. Strength coaches, B. Team travel, B. Head coach, A-. And then the ownership, you can see the little minus there next to owner, but they walk away with an A. So interesting. And we know that they're going to be getting new facilities here shortly. A lot will be happening over there at Dove Valley. So that'll be interesting to kind of see how they handle one training camp when that kind of stuff comes. We were actually talking about this yesterday a little bit before coffee break got started about, are fans going to be in attendance when they do all of these, changes over there at Dove Valley? And so we're going to probably see a lot of stuff changing on the NFLPA. But as always, it's very interesting to see kind of what's going on over there and how the players are looking at it. And I also find it fascinating, and I think it shows a lot of respect that they're giving their head coach an A- and the ownership an A. So Colorado Avalanche, Cale Makar, man, he notched an assist, giving him 308 career points. That is the most ever by a defenseman in Avalanche franchise history. He passed some big names, including the previous leader, Tyson Barrie, who had 307 points in a Colorado sweater right there. John Michael Lyle's on there. Adam Foote, obviously, on there. Some big names. And he continues to just impress everybody, it feels like. They had a whooping on the Dallas Stars last night, 5-1. Andrew Cogliano and Nathan MacKinnon scored 49 seconds apart to help Colorado pull away in the second period. Alexander Georgiev stopped 33 shots. MacKinnon also had an assist to give him at least 1 point in all 29 home games this season. Also, happy birthday to Coach Jared Bednar, who turns 52 today. Colorado Avalanche will be taking on the Chicago Blackhawks tomorrow. Now, this next Mile High Minute is brought to you by Smashburger. KCP shared Nikola Jokic sent the team a motivating text coming back from the All-Star break. I love when Coach Jokic comes out, and I love that he's sending out these text messages. He goes, "We already knew what his mindset was and how he was going to come in after the All-Star break." This is KCP talking on Jokic. "It got everybody motivated, and we're looking forward to winning another championship." Well, so are we. And if you haven't already seen the video, I wish that I could share it with you guys. There is a video of Nikola Jokic sprinting through the hallways that you absolutely need to see on social media. It is hilarious, and it just kind of shows a different side of Nikola Jokic, but he's also been playing lights out. We've talked about this plenty when it comes to him. 27.3, 16.7, 15.0. Those are Jokic averages over the last 3 games. He's put up 82 points, 50 rebounds, and 45 assists in these 3 games. He is the second player in NBA history to have at least 80 points, 50 rebounds, and 45 assists in just 3 games, joining Wilt Chamberlain, who did so in March of 1968. He's also recorded at least 14 assists in each game. They will be taking on the Sacramento Kings tonight. But the Kings, they've won the last 3 matchups, but did the last 2 this season. On February 9th, 125-106, the Kings won. And then on February 14th, 102-98. So tonight should be a good game, 7 p.m. tip. Make sure you tune in. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are reportedly parting ways with linebacker and former CSU Ram Shaq Barrett. The release was expected by many as Barrett had a special salary cap situation. He had 1 year left with the Buccaneers and had counted for $26.7 million in dead money on the team's salary cap. Obviously, I'm very partial to this story because of my CSU Ram connections over there. I remember seeing Barrett when he was over to play over there, and it was so much fun. He was such a beast, and I always loved being able to see his career continue to shine. But his 5-year run with the team included 3 interceptions, 45 sacks, and 15 forced fumbles, and 178 solo tackles. His official release will happen on June 1st. So I hope he's able to find another team to play for and continue the Colorado State Rams playing in the NFL. This is an interesting one that happened last night. The Philadelphia Flyers and the Tampa Bay Lightning were forced to play in partial darkness on Tuesday night after a power outage occurred. The Flyers were leading 1-0 with 13:43 remaining in the first period when part of Wells Fargo Center suddenly went completely dark. Although the arena's emergency lighting kicked in, the game was stopped, and after a 9-minute delay, the teams were instructed to resume the game, even though the ice was only partially lit, sources say. The Flyers' goal appeared darker than the rest of the rink, and the scoreboard wasn't working, so stadium employees had to post scores manually. But obviously, it didn't end up mattering. The Flyers, who end up winning the game 6-2. I think that's crazy, though, just to be able to see, have the lights go out. It makes me think of the big Super Bowl and all the conspiracy theories that go on with that nature. But to play a game in partial darkness doesn't sound very up my alley. I'm not going to lie. I think I'd be a little frustrated. Just like Andy Reid is a little frustrated, here's a funny story for you guys. Taylor Swift surprised Travis Kelce's Kansas City Chiefs teammates with homemade Pop-Tarts. I didn't know she was a baker during the NFL season. And this was showcasing her baking skills and winning over the players, I'm sure. But the pop star's gesture was well received by the team, with head coach Andy Reid acknowledging her effort to fit in. Swift's baking prowess has been a hit with Kelsey before, as she previously made cinnamon rolls for his pregame party. Andy Reid goes on to say, though, about the Pop-Tarts, she didn't give me one, and the offensive line definitely didn't give me one. I think that this is so funny, just such a random thing, and we all know how much Andy Reid loves different foods. That's why he gets burgers on the post-game show after the Super Bowl. I love Andy Reid. I think he's a really, really great coach. Obviously, had plenty of success, but being able to see him joke around with this situation that has obviously drawn so much attention to his team, I think it's fun. So let me know what you guys think. I know some people are totally over Taylor Swift and the whole thing, but I do think it is entertaining, and seeing that she's making homemade Pop-Tarts, I want one, or cinnamon rolls. I'm always all in. Let's see. Smash that like and share button, guys. Absolutely, please and thank you. I would appreciate it. Broncos meeting with JJ means we are not interested in him. Broncos are not going to show their hand that easy. They'll probably do the complete opposite. So I see what you're saying with this. I feel like a lot of times there's mind games that come with the combine, but they're probably going to be meeting with every single quarterback. The only reason JJ McCarthy's name is coming out so much right now is because Sean Payton had been linked to him and previously liking his play, etc. We're going to see all the other quarterback names, I'm assuming, show up with meetings for the Denver Broncos, etc. We already have our QB, Jared Stidham. Good morning, Rachel. Avalanche win last night. Yes, they did. Plenty of good stuff from them. I was so happy. They just felt like a different team last night. They were showing so much improvement in just different areas. Georgie had a great game last night. Nathan McKinnon obviously keeping that home streak alive. It is so good to see. Rachel, can you tell us when there will be a Mile High Minute for the Avs, ever? Every single one you do is for the Nuggets. The reason that you see that, obviously, is because it is presented by Smashburger. So Smashburger wanted to sponsor the Nuggets. So that's why you end up seeing it. Our Mile High Minutes are always about the Denver Nuggets. Smashburger had just presented that. If we want to sponsor on our Mile High Minute for the Avs, I would love one if anybody knows of anybody. But right now, that's why you see all of the Mile High Minutes on the Denver Nuggets, is because Smashburger sponsors that segment. So let's see. Huge win in the division standings over Dallas. Absolutely. Players give an A except from Russ. LOL. I was a little interested in this because I'm if the NFLPA got involved, their grades would probably reflect that just a little bit on the players, but I don't know. I just thought it was a little weird. I was expecting their overall grade to be a little bit different, but it is what it is. But plenty of good stuff. I appreciate you always for hanging out with us. Come hang out with me at 12 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time. We're going to be talking about pretty much everything on this show. So plenty of good sports talk here in Denver. And then come hang out with us for another episode of Denver Sports Daily tomorrow, 10 a.m. to get you caught up on all of your headlines that you need throughout the day. Have a wonderful Wednesday, everybody, and get back to work. Bye.